It's not high noon, but it's close enough for one of the most highly anticipated duels in the state of Georgia in 2025, and we've got it here at LakePoint Sports. I'm Cory McCartney, and we are pleased to bring you a showdown of Etowah, the number 3 team in prep baseball's national rankings in Houston County, 44th nationally and number 1 in their region as part of our battle for Bartow coverage. It's our version of the late Val Kilmer is Doc Holliday in his showdown with Ringo Starr. That's Tombstone right there, folks. Go ahead and add it to the queue. You won't regret it, and it figures to be a treat. That includes North Carolina signee Jackson Rose on the mound for Etowah and Houston County throwing righty Max Wilhide. Now, the aforementioned Jackson Rose stopped by the studio during Thursday's watch party, taking me inside Etowah and how they're handling the pressure, his recent no-hitter, and much more. You can find the entire interview on the LakePoint Sports YouTube channel, but here are some highlights from my time with Georgia's third-ranked lefty in the class of 2025. This Etowah team was really just kind of, it was built from the outside for this kind of a run that you guys have put together, defending state champs, third in prep baseball's national rankings. There's a lot of pressure now on you guys. How is that something that you guys handle, the expectations that come when you hit the field?
We know, every team we play is going to be looking to beat us just because we're Etowah. And that's how we take the field, knowing that everybody wants our back, and we don't want to give a win to anybody. And baseball's a tough game, few outs away from losing any game, to be honest. And we just attack the field with the same motor, confidence of every game we play. And I think that's what we do really well, is knowing, no matter who's out there, it's us versus them every game. So
you, in the last few days, had what I imagine has to be a kind of a dream day for you. A school record 17 strikeouts and no-hitter against Wheeler on March 14th. No walks, absolutely dialed in. When did you kind of have the idea this is going to be a special day?
I watched Sharm throw that Tuesday, and he went no-hitter, 11 Ks, and before I went out there, pitching coach was like, you got to beat him, right? So I was really shooting for 12, and then I was just rolling all day, and then I get to the 7th inning, and head coach was like, you're at this many pitches, do you want to sit down? And I was like, honestly, I feel really nice. I just want to keep going. And then whenever I came back into the dugout, I actually told him I was going to go 9 straight pitches, but that's not what happened. So, but then whenever I came back to the dugout, they told me I broke the record, and I really had no clue until after the game was over. It was pretty cool.
Did you know, did everyone kind of stay away from you, or because obviously everyone says don't jinx a no-hitter, you don't want to tell them what's going on. Were you aware, or were you just kind of so locked in that you had no idea?
I had no clue that it was going on. Actually, one of our third base coach, Coach Foley, was told the dugout, they were like, yeah, he's one away right here, and I think it might have been the last batter. And I had no clue, and then the team found out, and they all told me when I got off the mound. It was pretty cool.
So the social posts on the Etowah Baseball Instagram had the guys surrounding you outside the dugout. Everyone's singing Macklemore's Thrift Store. What's the? There's got to be a story there.
So me and 2 other teammates of mine, we were just in the dugout one day before a game, just getting ready, and we started. I saw a TikTok of some people pretty much acapella and some songs, and I had the 2 of them make a beat, and I started singing, and then after we won a game on the way home from the bus ride, we decided to make a beat, and the whole team got into it. It was really fun. And then right there after the game, I think it was right before the weekend, so we were all looking forward to it. It was Friday night, doubleheader, and then they were like, let's get a beat going. So we got one going, and then I was thinking of a song, and then I was like, I guess this will work. And then we all did it. We've been doing that after a few games we win. It's really fun. It's just that's just how it is at Etowah.
So are you a singer or are you a rapper? What are you?
I'm more of a pop rapper, I guess. Okay. I wouldn't say.
So if producer Mason gave us a beat, you're trying to tell me that you'd get some flow going for us right now?
I'm more of a guy that'll use another song, but I might be able to try and spit a few rhymes.
Producer Mason, can you beatbox?
Not effectively. I'll just end up spitting all over the equipment back here.
Okay. All right. So we might.
Behind me.
Okay. So we might take him off the hook. So we may not actually, unless you can just freestyle a cappella.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do.
No, you got to have some foundation.
Yeah, I got to have a little music.
Okay,
going.
that would have been a first for us. The on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience, and that includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Curve Test Centers gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is, if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit at the Bubble here on the LakePoint Sports Campus or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. We have an expected 131st pitch in this matchup between Etowah and Houston County, two teams ranked in the Prep Baseball Top 50. Both teams #1 in their region in the Prep Baseball Georgia classification rankings, so an absolutely monumental showdown. We're excited to bring you this one here momentarily as we cut to the field view. And we'll see guys just getting ready to take the field here momentarily. We'll be rejoining you as soon as this action commences and we bring you this highly anticipated matchup between Houston County and the Etowah Eagles. Let's go ahead and run through the lineups real quick. Etowah going to be led off by center fielder Trevor Condon. Then it's shortstop Dion Cole, first baseman Matthew Sharman, then third baseman Colin Anderson, the catcher Caden Borcherding. Then hitting sixth is right fielder Carson Moore. Hitting seventh is second baseman Jack Turner. DH is Townsend Downing. Hitting ninth is left fielder Keller Foster. Jackson Rose, the North Carolina signee, will be on the mound. Houston County leading off with center fielder Kendall Jackson. Then it's right fielder Vic Gann. Playing second base and hitting third is Isaiah Gallison. Hitting fourth is third baseman Logan Elbley. Hitting fifth is Ethan Buffon, the shortstop. Hitting sixth is Ethan Kennedy, the DH. Hitting seventh, first baseman Will Allen. Hitting eighth, Raymond Bird, the catcher. Hitting ninth, Noah Odom, the left fielder. On the mound, the righty Max Wilhide. We're going to take a break here in studio, but we will keep you locked on the field here as, again, we'll be bringing you coverage of Etowah, Houston County. Expected to have first pitch momentarily here from the Baseball Village at LakePoint Sports. Welcome back in studio. Cory McCartney now joined by Grayson Rosen. And Grayson, this is a game that we have had circled for quite some time once we saw the Battle for Bartow schedule. I mean, it was undeniable. This was going to be the biggest game of this weekend, potentially any weekend all year long here at LakePoint Sports.
Yeah, I mean, I had this matchup circled since probably Georgia Dugout Club, when we were kind of looking ahead to schedules and starting to look at, what kind of high school baseball we were going to have on campus. And we saw the Battle for Bartow was going to be here again. And when we saw this matchup, I mean, I think I told Jack at Georgia Dugout Club, there's a chance that both of these teams are, top 3 in the state when we come into this, and that's exactly what happened. And I did say there's a chance both of them are undefeated. They're not, but, maybe that was a little bit egregious.
Yeah, Etowah comes into this one 22-1. Their only loss coming against North Paulding on February 28th. Wolfpack team that is 5th in prep baseball, Georgia's 6A rankings. They lost that game 8-4. Meanwhile, Houston County sits at 18-5. They lost in the Final Four 5A a year ago to Pope, a team that Etowah ends up sweeping for the state championship at Gwinnett's Coolray Field. But Houston County, now 6A, they're the number 1 team in prep baseball, Georgia's classification rankings. They lost to Stony Brook yesterday, 5-2 on Thursday. And after this Etowah game, we're going to have to play East Coweta. So this is a really tough couple back-to-backs for them, and they're going to have their hands full against Jackson Rose, the North Carolina signee, and the 3rd-ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, really excited. Obviously, look, I would love to say I'm impartial today. I can't be. I mean, I'm no Kirk Herbstreit. I can't call an Ohio State game without showing bias, regardless of your opinions of that. But I went to Etowah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Kendall Jackson's going to lead things off for Houston County against Rose. Had a great conversation with Rose. You saw the one pregame. Also talked to him for an interview before that. We went through his pitch grips, talked a lot about the decision to go to North Carolina. He is, interestingly, the first Etowah player to go to Coach Greg Robinson's alma mater in UNC. And we talked about the arsenal yesterday. The fastball is up around 92 for him. Told me he thinks the best pitch is the changeup, because that one goes foul. He's also got the curve, but he's working on another pitch. And he told me he's got a couple things that he's toying with. I think the problem for any pitcher is when you get to the point where you want to introduce a new pitch and you've built up an arsenal you're so confident with.
Yep.
At what point do you feel like, yep, I can start putting this in game?
Yeah, that one got put out in play. And
yeah, Kendall Jackson drops that in for a base hit. So he threw a no-hitter back in March, 17 strikeouts. Jackson Rose not going to get a no-hitter today against House
no hitter, but hey, you get the nerves out of any potential of that and get that done. Speaking of no-hitters, I did see something that just came across the timeline for other high school baseball around the state. Joseph Contreras for Blessed Trinity threw a perfect game against Westminster yesterday.
Yeah, a guy with obvious MLB bloodlines. His dad, Jose Contreras, an all-star and World Series champion for the White Sox. Vic Gann now at the plate for Houston County. This is a really tough top of the order for Houston County when you go Kendall Jackson and Vic Gann. Vic Gann went yard yesterday. The Georgia Gwinnett College signee, plays his travel ball for 5-star national, 14th ranked outfielder in Georgia. He's got an 0-1 count here against Rose. Shows bunt. Borcherding throws down to Cole. The ball bounces in front of the shortstop, and Kendall Jackson will be standing at second base.
It looked like maybe Caden didn't have a full grip on it.
We saw some electric defense from Deion Cole at shortstop yesterday.
Yeah.
Really excited to see him back there today.
I think maybe the Etowah guys are talking about a potential interference call.
Well, we'll see how the umpires sort this one out. It was tough to see whether or not it happened on either end. Ball obviously not clean into Cole's glove and allowed Kendall Jackson to get to second base, but Vic Gann still at the plate. And had some time spent with Gann previously this past summer. He's a 2023 future gamer. So we're going to continue with Kendall Jackson at second base, 0-2 count here to Gann. Yeah, Jackson Rose, a guy that rode the momentum of the senior future games into that UNC commitment and ultimate signing of that letter of intent. We got the Wasps back.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
so I'll go ahead and say it just in case one of us does get stung. He was floating.
Wow, he's really trying.
Yeah.
He's trying to get into the mix here.
Really in here.
Yeah, he showed up last summer a few times. He actually, I think he made his way all the way down to the field. Yeah, we may have to
real close to the face.
We need a Arrow Exterminators stop here in our studio as this guy's like buzzing around big time here in this.
Distancing himself a little bit.
Yeah, he's really, I mean, this is a highly anticipated game.
Yeah, he wants to catch it. Hey, go to field 11.
The insect world. There you go.
Nope.
Yeah, he
Still
likes it in here.
Yeah. It's probably the same wasp that Jack convinced me to take a swing at with a wood plank earlier.
Okay, well maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's taking you into the equation now as he's got you in a compromising position.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, 1-2 count here.
Yeah, I was always a contact hitter, but I think that's passed me by at this point.
All right, here comes a 1-2 from Rose.
Just missed
miss low.
I'm interested to see how Houston comes out in this one because we saw them. They got some runs kind of early in that game in the early innings and then just kind of slowed it down. And Stony Brook did a great job when they brought in the relief pitcher, just holding it down with Vitarelli. But we're going to have to see what Houston brings throughout the rest of the game.
Rose just misses, so the count's not going to be full. Interesting situation because Matthew Sharman pitched yesterday against Stony Brook, a collection of extremely talented players that came down from New York. But there's a lot of familiarity between Houston County and Etowah. And Rose knew exactly what he was going into this. They know what Rose has on the mound, too. So there is no question with these two squads and bringing your best to the equation in this big-time matchup.
Yeah. That was a good pitch right there with the breaking ball. And then Vic Gann, good work to just fight it off the hands and send it foul out of play.
Yeah, he's going to be followed by Isaiah Gallison, the second baseman. Got Kendall Jackson at second base, full count. Again, ropes that right up the middle. 96-4 off his bat. Kendall Jackson's rounding third. He's going to make his way all the way home. He's going to hold it, testing out that arm of Trevor Condon in center field. So they'll have runners at the corners now as Isaiah Gallison steps to the plate.
I bet you
rope that ball.
I bet you Trevor Condon's eyes lit up when he saw how Kendall Jackson was about to round third, but probably smart on Kendall Jackson's part to hold up, though he almost hit the deck.
Yeah, Condon playing center field right now, the Tennessee commit, 2026, fourth-ranked outfielder in Georgia, 9th overall in the class. Yeah, defensively behind Rose, got Caden Borcherding playing catcher, Matthew Sharman at first. Second base is Jack Turner playing shorts, Dion Cole, Colin Anderson at third. The outfield, it goes Carson Moore in right, Condon in center field, and Keller Foster in left.
Got to love the matching catcher's gear with the uniforms today for Caden Borcherding behind the plate.
Well, Jackson Rose was excited to wear these uniforms because he and Coach Greg Robinson called these their Tar Heel blue uniforms.
That's fair. They're going to let
Gann have second. Not going to allow any scenario that brings Kendall Jackson home.
I mean, runs might be coming at a premium in this game. So,
well, I had asked about potentially having Tyson Gannis, who pitched yesterday for Houston County here in the studio, and they are all hands on deck for this one. A bouncer right up the middle. Dion Cole has it. Fantastic. Pulls him off of first as Sharman has that one get away, and here comes the second run for Houston County. They're going to be up 2-0. A costly error off that throw to first base, and Houston County's now got themselves a 2-zip advantage here in the first.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job covering the ground, Dion did, but just a little bit off on the throw, sent it a little bit too high for Matthew Sharman at first, and a little bit of disaster coming out of that one.
Sharman, 6'3" frame, unable to get to that one. Cole, as I mentioned, has played some fantastic defense at short over these past 24 hours for Etowah, but an unfortunate throwing error there has allowed Houston County to take a lead here in the first. They'll now have Logan Elbley at the plate.
Takes the first one there for a strike. It's definitely a situation that Jackson Rose doesn't find himself in often. Team jumping on him early in a game and kind of immediately showing some runs.
Elbley shows bunt, pulls back. The count's now 1-1. All right, here comes the UNC lefty. Gets the bunt down. Rose has it. Throws over to first. Oh, that one gets away from the second baseman. Here comes another run for Houston County. So 2 miscues at first base have allowed Houston County to open up a 3-0 lead with nobody out here in the first inning. And this is a scenario that nobody saw coming for a Etowah team that has been awfully good defensively.
Yeah, that's kind of the consequences of your first baseman rushing in on the bunt and then not being the one to play it. You bring second base over to try and cover that ground, and it just makes things really difficult to make a play on.
Yeah, that was Jack Turner playing at second base, cutting over to try to get to that ball, and Coach Greg Robinson going to go out there and have a word with his crew and try to calm them down. Certainly a scenario that Etowah does not find themselves in often, facing a deficit in the opening of a game here, but they are in that situation down 3-0 against a really good Houston County team. We look at the remaining schedules for these teams as the Georgia high school playoffs are just a few days away. Etowah has 3 games with Cherokee. That's one Tuesday at Etowah, then a doubleheader on Friday. Next Tuesday, you've got Matthew Sharman, the Georgia commit, against Reed Worley, the Kennesaw State signee. That one's going to be at Etowah, and that is going to be catnip for draft nicks at that one, without question. A lot of guys going to be on hand to try to see them in action. Then they've got a doubleheader on Friday against the Cherokee Warriors, 2 with Blessed Trinity on Wednesday, April 16th. Then their regular season wraps up with a trip to Hillgrove. All right, our action continues. Ethan Buffone, the Mercer signee, at the plate now, and he sends that one foul. Ethan wore number 22 yesterday, but he's back to his traditional number 2 here.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Maybe he left in number 2 at home. Maybe. Get all the way back up here, and they said, Ethan, where's your jersey? And he's like, it's still in Houston County. But he wore 22 yesterday. He's back to number 2 today. Ethan, the 6th-ranked shortstop in Georgia, looking to build on this Houston County lead. Swing and a miss. Got himself in an 0-2 count now against Rose. Rose ready to roll, man. He's there's obvious frustration when you look up at that scoreboard and feel like you've pitched well enough to make that a 0.
Yeah, Rose definitely got some fire in him up on the mound.
All right, he's got an 0-2 count here against Buffone. Glances back at the runner. Goes to the breaking ball, but misses. Logan Elbley getting a healthy lead at second. Oh, man, gets the punch out. Jackson Rose with the first K and the first out of this game as he had Ethan Buffone frozen.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pitch right there. And he set him up all the way through that at bat.
Ethan Kenny's turn now with 1 down and runner at second. Kenny, 26th-ranked third baseman in Georgia, 297 overall in the class of 2026. Plays for Game On in the summer. Swing and a miss, 82-5 out of the hands of Rose. We'll see Kenny here in the coming weeks after the end of the high school season playing for Game On. Bit of a fixture here during the summertime at LakePoint Sports. Misses on the 0-1, glances back at the runner. Already 22 pitches in this inning for Rose.
Yeah, now for the rest of this inning, you're just trying to think of, how does Rose approach each at bat, and what is he going to be throwing to try and limit contact?
Oh, Borcherding tried to squeeze that one down. The framing ability for Borcherding is exceptional for his age.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the top abilities that he has to offer behind the plate.
Rose on the 2-1. Glances back at Elbley at second. And that's down the pipe for a strike. Count now even. What have we seen him top out at so far? Around, I think that's highest, 89.8, right? Has he gotten into
I think he hit
high
90.
90s? He did at 90.
Yeah.
All right, comes a 2-2. Dribbler. Anderson has it. Can't make a play. Dribbles that one out of his glove, and Houston County now have him at the corners with 1 down.
Yeah, right now it almost seems like avoiding contact is Jackson Rose's best option of getting through this inning. I mean, every single time Houston puts something on the ground, seems like they're
well. Look,
doing work
three plays there that I bet 99 times out of 100 Etowah makes defensively.
Yeah,
you got Cole on the run and throw to Sharman at first. Probably makes that 1,000 times out of 999 because he makes it more often than he does. And then you got Jack Turner unable to complete the throw over to second, get the throw from second base. And as he cuts over to first, and then you have that play from Anderson on the bobble. And I'm sure those are plays they make more often than not, but now they don't, and they're facing a 3-0 deficit against Houston County. Will Allen now at the plate. Rose has him down 0-1. Will Allen, a South Florida signee, right-handed pitcher and first baseman, 8th-ranked righty in Georgia, 27th overall. Stands 6'4", 218. Shows bunt, pulls back. Well, we know how electric this Etowah lineup can be, and they are going to have their work cut out for them as they'll get their first chance in the bottom of the first to try to answer this Houston County 3-0 lead.
Yeah, I talked about at the beginning of this inning. I was interested to see how Houston County kind of bounces back offensively from how they played yesterday against Stony Brook, only putting up the 2 runs. And they're obviously off to a much hotter start than they were yesterday.
Yeah, they lost 5-2 to Stony Brook yesterday. Just misses there to Allen.
Real close.
Yeah, meanwhile, we saw Etowah score 27 runs across their 2 games yesterday. So this is, as I mentioned, a lineup that is fully capable of putting up some big crooked numbers. Meanwhile, our friend the Wasp has not left since this game started.
Oh,
Allen gets the bunt down, but that one's going foul.
Allen has his hand really far up the barrel when he's holding that bunt down. Seems like we have some other bug now that's
this is for whatever reason they love it in here. Just got to get in on the action. I don't think that we offer a streaming service in which bugs can adequately get to, so I think that's why they come to see us in live action.
All right, game's going on for real.
That's
not
right.
far from here.
Comes a 2-2 to Allen. Just misses. Count now full.
90.1.
Raymond Bird, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. So I believe that's the top velo we have seen from Rose so far here. He's already 30 pitches in. .4 swing and a miss, and gets himself his second strikeout.
Yeah, Rose has such fantastic pitches for just generating strikeouts. And like it seems right now, I mean, avoiding contact at all costs is probably a good way to go. Sometimes it's not necessarily the safest way to play, but Rose has got a handle on something now.
Yeah, he's clearly pitching with an edge at the moment.
I think that's maybe one of the best things he does. When he gets fired up out there on the mound, I have rarely seen people pitch with more just like aggression than him.
Catcher Raymond Bird at the plate now.
And catches the outside half of the zone for the first strike.
2 strikeouts in this inning for Rose. He's also allowed 3 hits. 2 errors, though, have contributed to Houston County taking a 3-0 lead. You ever seen the movie Three Amigos?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of just reminded me. Kate Borcherding's signs remind me of the Three Amigos and their salute.
Yeah. It's a great pull right there.
There's the 0-1 to Bird. Strike in the outside corner.
So you've hit him with that twice now. Obviously, you don't go back to it, but what's the play here?
Yeah, I think he goes elevated fastball. Turner has it, flips to Cole for the third out. Houston County has taken a 3-0 lead over Etowah in this highly anticipated matchup from the Battle for Bartow. We'll be back with plenty more from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
We are excited to be bringing you this highly anticipated matchup from the battle for Bartow. Etowah, number 3 in prep baseball's national rankings. Houston County, number 44. They both lead their respective region classification rankings by prep baseball Georgia right now. Houston County with a 3-0 lead over the Eagles before they've even had an opportunity to come to the plate, and they will send Trevor Condon, Deion Cole, and Matthew Sharman up here in the bottom of the first inning, and they'll be facing off against Max Wilhide for Houston County. Wilhide, a Chattanooga Valley Community College signee, 6'2", 192-pounder, fastball just teetering on 90 mile an hour. Also has a changeup, curve, and slider. You know, Etowah is going to come out with a vengeance trying to answer this 3-0 deficit that they're facing here in the bottom of the first. And what, you know, we mentioned it before we went to break. We mentioned it during the break to each other that just not what you expect to see defensively out of this Etowah team. That's defending state champions. Do not expect to see those miscues. And it's not as though they were bad plays. It's just the execution and the end of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Deion Cole making a running play from third, throws over to first. Matthew Sharman can't glove that. Ooh. Cole sends that one into left center, and that's going to be hauled in for an out. So you have Deion Cole on the run out of short, trying to make the throw over to first. Sharman can't glove that. Then you have Jack Turner running over from second to first to cover on a play. He can't make that. Then Colin Anderson has a dribbler coming to him at third and just juggles it out of his glove. And, again, plays we expect to see this crew make defensively, but they didn't, and now they're facing a 3-0 hole. The aforementioned Deion Cole now at the plate. Cole, Georgia Tech commit, top-ranked outfielder in Georgia, 5th overall. Class of 26. He's the number 11 outfielder in the nation.
He's playing shortstop today.
Yeah.
Has been, seems like, for the last couple of weeks.
Been a fixture here for a very long time at LakePoint Sports, playing for Smart Tents. 2021 junior feature gamer, 24 feature gamer. He's got a 2-0 count, sends that foul. My wife was his elementary art teacher, and she still has a picture of him, I believe, in their kindergarten or first grade, and holding a piece of artwork that he had. She's like, I'm going to save this one for when he gets drafted, that we can pull that back out.
Definitely.
Wilhide working quickly. He is ready to go. And I would imagine the intensity ratcheted up inside that Houston County dugout when you take the bottom of the first with a 3-0 lead over the number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah, it almost kind of puts pressure on you, because now it's like, all right, let's hold on to this, and you got to hold on to it for 6 more innings. It definitely makes things a little tough.
Well, pitchers always tell you, though, if you can get a lead before you even take the mound, the freedom with which you pitch.
Definitely.
You just are able to go out there and feel like you have a lot more room to play with, and Max Wilhide has been provided that by his offense. But he's going to walk Cole with 1 down.
Deion with a little stare down of Wilhide as he left the box. Wouldn't be surprised if things get a little testy here between these two teams.
Yeah, again, these are two teams that a year ago were in the same region. They were saved that by Pope taking down Houston County in the Final Four. Otherwise, these teams could have met in Gwinnett for a state championship. Now with one on and one down, Will Hyde's going to have to deal with Prep Baseball All-American and Georgia commit Matthew Sharman.
Sharman's maybe his best asset at the plate is just getting on base. Yeah, he can hit for power and he'll hit for extra bases, but we've seen him draw his fair share of walks as well.
Sharman again on his way to Georgia. His brother Michael currently on staff for the Tennessee Volunteers. Spent last year at Georgia Highlands. There's almost like lackadaisicalness to Will Hyde as he kind of stands there with the yards back. It's almost like excruciatingly laid back.
Yeah, he definitely looks calm up there.
Well, I think he'd be calm too with a 3-0 lead against Etowah as
I
you take the field.
I wouldn't feel safe.
It's the 1-0 to Sharman.
Especially if I was the one on the mound. I would not feel safe with 3 runs.
Well, it can certainly disappear in a hurry against this lineup. We saw that play out. By the way, Sharman, maybe I think swinging a different bat than he normally does. He had a goods bat that his dad, who's back there working the camera, as you can see him down on his knees there next to the Prep Baseball logo, showed me that Sharman broke his goods bat yesterday. So he had to use somebody else's bat late in that game and came through big time in that win over Stony Brook. Will Hyde drops that in for a strike, count now 2-1.
Breaking ball right there. Looks similar to the bat that Dion was using yesterday. And I noticed Dion's using a different bat than he was yesterday, so maybe they worked out a deal.
Comes the 2-1, excuse me, to Sharman. Right down the middle, runner taken off. Cole is going to be in there, the stolen base, and now a runner in scoring position for Etowah.
That's a big move right there. Avoiding that double play to end the inning.
Sharman, the top-ranked right-handed pitcher in Georgia. He was on the mound yesterday against Stony Brook. He's 7th in the nation at his position, number 30 overall, but also absolutely gets it done at the plate for Etowah. 92-mile-an-hour exit velos. Playing first base today.
Well, that's better than 92.
Sharman, 99.7 off his bat. That one is all the way against the wall. And center fielder is able to make the catch, but Cole's taken off for third, going to round his way all the way home. And Dion Cole gets in there and got himself a run, scoring from second base on a well-struck ball by Sharman into deep center.
I mean, how about taking advantage of what was kind of a tough situation? I mean, Sharman pieced that up, but that's a deep center field wall right there and a great catch out in center field. But Dion Cole just absolutely turned on the burners. Got from second to home quick.
Great job defensively by Kendall Jackson making that catch, but it did allow Cole, who runs a 6'9", 760, to score from second. So now Colin Anderson at the plate. Colin Anderson in a Condon-like move, rocking that hoodie today underneath the uniform. You almost feel, I bet there's like a sense of it being like a cape. Like you're like a superhero, like you're taking the field and that you got your costume on, you're ready to roll. Anderson, absolutely sensational player that's been added to this Etowah lineup. Ropes that first one back foul. Number 1 third baseman in Georgia, 2nd overall in the class of 2028 under Dexter McCleon Jr. at Buford. He's the 9th overall in the nation in 28. Just misses, count now 1-1. My son, who is in the same grade as Colin Anderson at Etowah, came home early in the year and he said, "Hey, there's this kid that's at my lunch table now that's new to Etowah. He says he's a top 10 player in the nation." And I was like, we don't have 28 rankings out on Prep Baseball yet. And lo and behold, when they are unveiled, Colin Anderson was a top 10 player.
Yeah, I got to catch up with Colin up at preseason All-State with Prep Baseball, and he's just it's amazing to find a guy who, at the time when I was talking to him, 14 years old, so composed, so professional, and just really had a good grasp on his game and what he wanted to do as he stepped into his high school career. It's pretty amazing.
Coach Matt Hopkins out to have a couple words here with his starter, Max Wilhide. But the inning will continue for his righty with Anderson at the plate. 2-1 count here to the third baseman who plays for Team Elite during the summertime. Against Stony Brook yesterday, 4 for 4 with 5 RBI, 4 of those coming off a grand slam. That was 102 off the bat. 102 been a common occurrence here this last week at prep baseball events during these spring break tournaments. We, of course, had Jack Bauer from Lincoln Way East as Anderson puts that in play. And cameras did not give us a look at that one.
Seems to have made it safely.
Yeah, seems to have made it safely. Our camera typically will switch over to the high home view as we see a ball in play, but unfortunately didn't happen there on whatever Anderson did, but he's now standing at first base. And again, a big day for him yesterday. But man, Jack Bauer, talk about that again. 102 miles an hour. I've not seen that here at LakePoint Sports. I've seen Chase Burns, Chase Petty, both first-round draft picks, go triple digits, but I've never seen anybody go 102. And we saw that from Jack Bauer. We saw 7 pitchers of 100 or more out of that right-hander who is a Virginia signee.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And I was right there at field level watching it happen. And it's hard to believe that it even happened.
And he just looked so smooth doing it.
What's funny is a lot of the comments on the videos of it are like, there's no way that's 102.
Because it just looks so.
Yeah,
it just looks so.
Because it doesn't
easy.
look like he's trying.
Yeah, which I think is maybe the scariest thing when you start to wonder what the ceiling is for him. By the way, we saw Colin Anderson take second base off of a balk from Maxwell Hyde.
Now he's going to take third on a wild pitch. He might go home.
Yeah.
No, he's going to hold it third.
Caden Borcherding at the plate now.
Got himself a RBI ground rule double in the first. In that first game against Stony Brook.
Feels like collectively Houston County just trying to get Max Wilhide to calm down a little bit. He's got a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the first. He's got a runner at third in the form of Colin Anderson. Caden Borcherding at the plate. 1-1 count to the catcher. Sends that one foul. Mentioned during our watch party yesterday about Borcherding, the top-ranked catcher in Georgia in 27th, 3rd overall in that class. He's 5th at his position in the nation, 57th overall in that class. Pop times down to 187.
We talked about the matching catcher's gear. You also got to throw in the cleats, too. I mean, he's got everything. I think maybe that shin guard, too.
Well, he goes down on strikes. Wilhide limits the damage. Houston County leads 3-1. We'll be back. You're watching our coverage of the battle for Bartow.
So, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard? Front yard. Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy. Boogie, woogie, jam, slam, bust the dialect, come to
Back to our coverage for Battle for Bartow. Etowah, third-ranked team in prep baseball's national rankings. Houston County, 44th, both leading their respective classification rankings. And we've got a 3-1 lead for Houston County right now over Etowah. And you and I were just talking. 4 runs scored, but none of them a big blow of any sorts. I mean, we saw Matthew Sharman with that 99-mile-an-hour hard-hit ball to center that allows Dion Cole to flash the speed, scoring from second. And we saw Houston County scoring 3 runs largely off of some defensive miscues, 2 errors committed by Etowah in the first inning. So still waiting for that big blow that makes it feel like the defining moment as we sit here with 4 runs on the board.
Yeah, I think a big thing to think about with this is that Houston County, though you have the 3 runs on the scoreboard, there's not necessarily momentum from this lineup. You're not, it's not like you were, hitting balls into the gap back and forth and you hit a home run or something in that first inning. it was all, like you said, just defensive miscues, some small things, and you can certainly be happy that you took advantage of them, but it doesn't necessarily feel that same as if you were just hitting the ball over the field.
Got Noah Odom, the left fielder, and last hitter in the order for Houston County. So Kendall Jackson, center fielder, standing in the on-deck circle. Rose so far 36 pitches. He's allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. Odom with a dribbler. Rose has got it, gloves it, throws it to first, and that pulls Sharman off the bag. Just a bit of an off-balance throw by Rose, sailed on him, and Sharman couldn't pull that one down, so we're going to have Odom at first base to start things off here for Houston County.
Yeah, just right back to it. The
same thing, right? It's like they're not really making a lot of really hard contact against Rose. It's just they've been putting pressure on this Etowah defense, largely this infield, and so far they have just run into some problems. Now 3 errors.
Yeah, 2 of them just tough plays for Rose to be making off the mound.
And we're back to the top of the order. Kendall Jackson shows bunt, pulls back.
I mean, when you get those kind of odd contact, soft ground balls in front of you as a left-handed pitcher, it's really hard to make that turn and make that play to first base when you've got talented runners as well on the base paths.
1-0 here to Jackson, Chattahoochee Valley Community College signee. One's a 6.5 60. Borcherding throws down to second. Cole, and Odom kind of tumbles off the bag a little bit, but he's going to be safe.
Yeah, I think he was able to keep that right arm on the bag.
Is that Wilson Marler?
Sure is. He called a couple of games earlier this week for spring break experience.
Nice.
Getting him out there on the
field.
field.
Good to see Wilson on camera.
Not just sitting in the back and
typically
in the chair.
Typically running point guard in the umpire shack back here. The recently engaged Wilson Marler.
Congratulations.
All right, 3-0 count here to Jackson. Runner at second base in the form of Odom. Next pitch will be 41 for Rose here in the second inning. Jackson shows bunt. That's going to get away from Borcherding. Runner taken off for third. So Odom going to advance as Kendall Jackson makes his way down to first base off the walk.
Yeah, it's just accumulating these small errors over and over again, just like the first inning, and seems like you're trending in that same direction.
We saw this play out yesterday during the Stony Brook game. Matthew Sharman starts off on the mound for that one. Was just absolutely electric. I think if there's one question that you have about this Etowah team, what happens to them on the mound after the starters are out?
Yeah.
So yesterday, Jack Turner goes complete game shutout to get the win over Newton. Mm-hmm. We saw what happened to the bullpen after Sharman left against Stony Brook. That's why we ended up having an 18-9 game there.
Yeah.
You need Rose to go deep into this one because I don't think you want to get into a situation where you're trying to hope you can piece something together against a really good Houston County team after your starter's out.
Yeah. No, you definitely don't want to start testing the bullpen, especially early in a game against such a talented lineup. It seemed like there was a bit of a miscue there on what the situation was between Caden and Dion.
I mean, I go back to it, though. If you're Jackson Rose, you can look up at the scoreboard and say, I've pitched better than a 3-1 deficit right now. There's just been, I mean, again, 3 errors defensively by this street. It's not as though they've jumped on Rose and they've got 1 hit. Mm-hmm. So they've got 3 runs, on 3 hits.
Yeah.
But they've largely come behind 3 errors.
Yeah, and I think the harder part, though, for Jackson is that 2 of the errors were him.
Yeah.
2 of them were his throwing errors that caused the issues. So it's tough to balance, but he's going to have to just fight, and I think that's one of the things that he does the best.
Vic Gann, Georgia Gwinnett College signee at the plate. When I had Rose here in studio, that one's down the right side, throwback home. Ooh. They're going to have in a pickle. Odom throwback over to third is going to be out, so they get him. Already had the trailing runner standing at third.
Yeah, the Houston was giving up that out for sure.
All right, they're going to have him at the corners now with Kendall Jackson at third and Vic Gann at first. I'll bring up Isaiah Gallison.
Definitely not afraid to run.
No, Vic Gann runs a 6.5 60. I would almost anticipate he's going to be taken off here, so we'll see Borcherding giving the signal and basically saying, I think you just give him a free pass like he's got himself a peach pass going to second base.
And we'll let Gann hop in the express lane.
That's right.
Maybe not.
I have to throw over to first. I often think if they let semis on the express lane instead of cars, how much better it would probably be on the highways. They would probably hate it, but you
the
lane.
semis would definitely hate it. Yeah, I feel like they should probably be accommodated to more than the horrible drivers of the metro.
That's right.
The metro area.
Throw over to second. Did they got him? They got Vic Gann.
And nobody advances either.
Yeah,
that's big.
Wilson giving the emphatic out signal.
He's got a lot of time. Watching everybody else make the call.
That's right. Well, he gets to practice. I don't know if there's a mirror in the umpire shack, but I think
I'm not sure how many people follow United umpires on various social media platforms.
Well,
Wilson, a constant fixture in those videos, giving some good calls.
Oh, well, he just made a fantastic one there. Second as Etowah was able to mow down the runner on the would-be stolen base, and now 2 down. Isaiah Gallison at the plate.
Yeah, that's so big by Etowah to not allow that runner to advance from third either. And score at the plate. Good work, good communication.
1-0 misses, but Borcherding stops it from going any further. A nice crowd background now. Feels a little bit more like summertime, doesn't it, when you look at a crowd like that?
Yeah.
This is the only game currently going on here at LakePoint Sports. But as we mentioned, a highly anticipated one.
Ooh.
Check swing. Did he go? He did not, says Wilson Marler.
Thought we were getting close to just that one being a strike call, but guess that one missed, made it 3-0.
Yeah. I think umpires should have to wear baseball pants. I think Wilson's pants are a little too baggy for me.
I think all of them would disagree.
Yeah, probably. Well, if you want to be the athletic-looking umpire that's back there, right? Like in the NFL, they wear like the tight shirts and they go up there and they give the calls, and you're like, that dude does not skip arm day. I want to see like the baseball umpire version of that, right?
But they still wear the very similar pants to the umpire.
They do, but they should have because of the views that we often get of the umpires, they should have never skip leg day, and they would have massive quads, and we can get them wearing some tighter pants.
I've always thought that they should have cleats.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
I mean, in hockey they've got skates.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, then you probably want like a basketball coach wearing a uniform, right?
Yeah, and I want to wear basketball shoes too.
Okay, there you go. All right, so a walk there issued, and Logan Elbley now at the plate with 2 down, runners at the corners.
Yeah, I don't want to see a basketball coach standing on the sidelines in loafers.
Well, they can't all be like Jackie Moon in uniform.
I'd like to think most basketball coaches are not like Jackie Moon.
No. 0-1 now as Elbley watches strike 1.
Co-inventor the alley-oop, though.
That's right. He and Coffee Black going down in history.
I hope somebody out there knows what we're talking about.
Misses outside, count now 1-1. Well, the Flint Tropics are an institution.
They are. I mean, I think you can buy their jerseys.
You can. Well, you can buy the whole thing. Like, you can buy, the Bobby Boucher jersey.
Yeah,
you can get they got every one of them now at this point. You get the Clark Griswold Chicago Blackhawks jersey. You can get all those now. Somebody was smart enough to realize that those people would pay money for those.
Oh, yeah. Nope. I think there's people that pay more money for those than, their favorite player on their favorite
but you
team.
go to, the locker room store,
at
the mall, and they've got all of them there. They got every fictional character you can think of.
Yeah. What's one of those, if you saw it in there, you'd be like, I have to buy that?
Well, I had mentioned, we get the 1-1 here. That one's fouled back. I had mentioned to Jackson Rose yesterday because we were talking about Coach Greg Robinson having hit a home run, a 3-run homer in the 1978 College World Series for North Carolina, and I equated that to Al Bundy from Married with Children would often talk about his 4-touchdown game for Polk High. I think if you could find a Bundy football jersey, that would be one.
That would be
that'd be a power.
It'd be hard to find.
Yeah, but that would be one I think you'd have to say, just take my money.
Oh
man, steal of home, and they got him at the plate. Smartly played there by Jackson Rose and Caden Borcherding, and Houston County, they continue to lead 3-1, but they're going to want that moment back. We'll be back. You're watching the battle for Bartow from LakePoint Sports.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Curve Test Centers is redefining player and performance data when it comes to evaluation and recruiting. Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMe and Proteus and more. Visit at the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. We are back now. Max Wilhide back on the mound for Houston County. Got a 1-1 count here, so we're rolling along, and he's got Carson Moore at the plate. Moore going to be followed by Jack Turner and Townsend Downing, the DH. Houston County, an attempted steal of home, bringing an end to the inning. Absolutely came out of nowhere, too, by the way.
Yeah, I think he just kind of got tired of standing on third base. He was there for a while, just kind of waiting around. I mean, they had the caught stealing there at second, and just for some reason the base paths weren't working out for him, and then they tried to steal home, which a little bit puzzling.
This has been such an odd game so far. I mean, again, we're still waiting for some like defining moment. It's just been it's been errors. It's been, you know, trying to capitalize on those. It's been, you know, weird things on the base pass. We're still, I mean, we've got to combine four runs and 4 hits, but not that defining moment as we sit here in this game. Stony Brook, by the way, has shown up and taken this one in.
Great pitch right there.
Strikeout for Will Hyde as he gets Carson Moore, and that's going to bring up Jack Turner playing second base today. Again, Turner spun a complete game shutout yesterday against Newton.
Yeah, he was extremely good. He was moving so fast, and then all of a sudden, Etowah has a huge offensive explosion at the top of the 7th while he's kind of waiting to finish out this complete game shutout, and then still comes out and spins a good one.
Will Hyde gets that in for a strike. I was really impressed. Stony Brook, by the way, yesterday, I thought they looked really good. Maybe a bit of a rust, as that one's right off of Will Hyde's glove. Second baseman has a nice throw on the run. Did they get him? They did, indeed.
Good work.
So they get Jack Turner to ground out. Nice defensive play there from Houston County off of the second baseman.
Was that Gallison there at second base?
Yeah, Isaiah Gallison playing second.
Very impressive 2027 to keep an eye on, Isaiah Gallison.
So Turner grounds out after the Moore strikeout. Townsend Downing, the DH, now at the plate.
Ooh.
And takes that one right in the square of his back. So Townsend Downing going to reluctantly make his way down to first base off of taking an 84.6-mile-an-hour pitch to the square of his back. And that'll bring us to Keller Foster, the last hitter in the order for Etowah.
See what Will Hyde's got here. Trying to make it through a pretty quick inning if he can.
Yeah, he's thrown 32 pitches thus far, has allowed just 1 hit. It's low, miss, and for ball 1. Should Foster get on? It's the top of the order, and Trevor Condon. Comes the 1-0 from Will Hyde. Swing and a miss. We have a butterfly now coming around us, so a little bit better than our
and a bird.
Our previous inhabitant here in the studio, which we'll have an update on here for you shortly. Yeah, I was really impressed though with Stony Brook yesterday. They get down really big against Etowah, and they bounce back, show some real fire offensively. Then they wind up getting themselves a victory over Houston County in their second game, a team coming down from New York. I was talking to Jordan Serrano, their center fielder and Wake Forest signee yesterday, and he said, obviously, a certain level of rust for these guys. They just have had a lot of inconsistencies with their ability to get out and swing a bat outside in that New York weather in the late winter to beginning of spring. But they are down here ready to play, and they'll have a matchup later on as we wear on the battle for Bartow today.
Yeah, they're playing at 6:30 with East Coweta.
1-1 from Will Hyde. Just scoots that one inside and forces Foster to have to work his way out of the path of that pitch.
Will Hyde trying to work quickly here.
2-1 count to the last hitter in the order for Etowah. Foster sends that foul on the third base side. Somewhat surprised Stony Brook's already here. They don't play till 6:30.
Yeah.
Thought maybe they'd be checking out Metro Atlanta.
Just got to lock in, I guess.
Yep.
This is a matchup worth watching,
That's
too.
right, sure is. Well, they've seen the hype. Swing and a miss. Will Hyde pumping his fist as he makes his way off the mound, and Houston County continues to lead 3-1 as Etowah strands one. We'll be back with more from the battle for Bartow.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today. Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture...
Welcome back. Jumping in here is a little quicker through that break than we anticipated. Jackson Rose back on the mound for Etowah. He's got Logan Elbley, the third baseman, will be followed by Ethan Buffon and Ethan Kinney for Houston County, up 3-1 over Etowah here in the top of the third inning. And this going to make it 2-zip.
Gonna kind of look for Houston County to maybe start putting the hits together here.
Elbley fouls that one back. 52 pitches so far in the third inning for Rose. Be remiss, this being 404 day, If we didn't give a shout out to all of Metro Atlanta, that one's in for a strike, 2-2. And I think we have to do the most Atlanta thing, which is to rank quick chicken restaurants. So I will give you Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, Raising Cane's, and Guthrie's. That's the top of the heap when we're talking about quick chicken restaurants.
I feel like Chick-fil-A doesn't fit the same mold as the other three.
It's still quick and it's still chicken.
It is, but it's not.
It's not a tender. Largely
it's
tenders
not
only.
like
But you can get salads and stuff at some of the other ones. So, what's the rankings in them for you?
I'm a Zaxby's guy, number one. I'll probably kind of crazy the rankings that I'm about to pull out here probably, but I'm going Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, Guthrie's, Cane's. I think Cane's is awful.
Wow. So mine are the exact opposite of yours, and I would go
Cane's. Is horrible.
Jackson Rose, by the way, gets a strikeout for the first out here in the third. I go Raising Cane's, Guthrie's, Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's. I will literally, I will only eat Zaxby's if there's nothing else to eat.
Oh, Zaxby's is so good.
But I will give you two things. The fries, if you're going off of fries, Guthrie's is number one. They're the best fries
good.
of the four. And by the way, the most famous chicken place in Metro Atlanta is not even on this list, which is KFC and the Big Chicken, which is in Marietta 41. This kind of speaks to the quality of maybe that chicken that we're not even talking about them being on the same list. But Producer Mason, I want you to weigh in here. What's your take on those chicken restaurants here on 404 Day?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think for me, it would be Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, Raising Cane's, and then Guthrie's.
Wow. Guys hating on Guthrie's.
I'm not hating on Guthrie's. I hold Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A in very high regard.
It's just salty for me.
Largely disappointed in this one now as see Jackson Rose miss. Count now 2-2. Ethan Buffon, the Mercer signee at the plate.
And you say quick chicken. Both times I've gone to Guthrie's, sitting there in the drive-thru.
Well,
I am sitting there.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you go to
15,
Cane's,
20 minutes.
I mean, Cane's is an unbelievable wait down here.
Yeah.
Another strikeout for Rose, and he has found his groove here in the third. He's got 2 strikeouts. He's now going to be dealing with Ethan Kinney, the DH.
I'll give respect to Cane's in this. The sauce and the bread are phenomenal.
I will think about this though. Basically, Cane's, Guthrie's, and Zaxby's, as we see Ethan Kinney rope that one into the glove of Colin Anderson and able to get him for the strikeout. We're going to continue this conversation because I'm going to lay this on you before we go to break. All 3 of those restaurants have the exact same sauce, and if you were to lay them in front of one person and ask them to differentiate them, they cannot.
I've made all of them at home. They're different.
Okay, we'll get into more of that. We'll be back. You're watching the battle for Bartow from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Back at it here at LakePoint Sports. 3-1 lead for Houston County. We're to the top of the order for Etowah. It's going to be Trevor Condon, then Deion Cole, Matthew Sharman. Right guys at the right time for Etowah as they try to eat into this lead. We see Condon going through his typical pre-pitch routine, jumping into the box. I mentioned before the hood being almost a cape.
Yeah.
And him leaping into the box. I think there's got to be some superhero aspects to this whole thing.
There could be. I think it's all just superstition kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to ask Trevor Condon about that, if this is his MCU moment when he has the hood on and jumps into the box. He's got an 0-1 count here against Will Hyde, who's thrown just 38 pitches.
I mean, you definitely won't find Trevor Condon playing a baseball game without that hood on.
No.
So, interested to know if if those fly in college.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody playing for the Tennessee Volunteers wearing one of those hoods, but I guess if not, maybe by the time Condon gets to campus, Nike can figure that out.
Imagine the white jersey with the orange hoodie. That would look great.
It sure would. Maybe he'd have like the checkerboard one.
Oh, maybe. That would be fun.
That'd be pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if they don't make it, maybe his parents can acquire one, have somebody make one for him. 2-2 to Condon. They got him in the inside pitch. Man, fantastic pitch there from Will Hyde to get the K, and Houston County is amped.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout to get there to set the pace here in the third inning.
Just one hit so far for Etowah. Again, their one loss this season came against North Paulding at 8-4 back in February. Deion Cole steps in with one down.
Will Hyde towing the rubber as soon as he can.
Yeah, he is ready to roll. I'm sure there was certainly a sense among Houston County where, maybe not being Metro Atlanta, they get certainly their fair share of attention, but not to the degree that a team in Metro Atlanta like Etowah is going to get. Maybe they come into this game with a bit of a chip on their shoulder and certainly fired up early on as they got themselves a 3-0 lead in the first and continue to hold it here in the third.
I think this team gets their deserved credit for sure, but you could definitely sense that Etowah is getting the spotlight, especially this season.
Well, I mean, look, All-American on their team.
Yeah.
You've got 3 of the top players in the nation in the class of 2026. If you're Houston County, you got something to prove when you step onto this field against them, and so far so good for the Bears.
There you
Swing
go.
and a miss, another strikeout. Will Hyde, man, absolutely emphatic there as he gets a strikeout of Deion Cole, and he is feeling it.
Yeah, Will Hyde's got a lot of reason right now to be pumped up. See if he can take down the trifecta here.
He's got 5 strikeouts so far, 1 walk, 1 hit. Now he's got Matthew Sharman. You get through these 3 guys unscathed, you have absolutely had yourself a day. And to get back-to-back strikeouts of Condon and Cole, he has got himself in a fantastic position as he now faces Prep Baseball American Matthew Sharman. Swing and a miss on the elevated fastball.
Didn't look like he wanted to really swing at that one.
Yeah, I think Sharman's smiling a little bit. Yeah. It just looked too good. That one at 85.6. Here comes the 0-1 from Will Hyde. Goes right back to it, but misses. Count now even here to Sharman. 2 down in the inning. Couple strikeouts here for Will Hyde. Sharman puts a charge in that one. 91.3 off his bat. Shortstop has it. Throws to first in time and gets the out. Brings it into another inning. Houston County continues to lead 3-1. I want to just alert everybody here. We have an update on our WASP. He was in studio.
Yeah.
We're now going to count. We now have an in memoriam for this WASP. He has found his demise as he got a little bit too close to us here in studio, and we took care of business so the folks at Aero Exterminators can know that we took down this WASP and crisis has been averted. So we're going to head to a break here. Houston County continues to lead 3-1. You're watching the battle for Bartow.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Back for our battle for Bartow matchup, seeing Matthew Sharman, who looked fantastic on the mound yesterday against Stony Brook. They're facing a 3-1 deficit, though, against Houston County now. Jackson Rose continues on the mound for the Eagles, and he's going to be facing Will Allen, Raymond Bird, and Noah Odom. 3 runs on 3 hits for Houston County. First pitch swinging. Alling sends that one into center field. Trevor Condon on the run, able to glove that for the first out. It's a little bit too much underneath that, and Condon able to catch it and 1 down.
Yeah, that's a good start for Jackson Rose here in this inning to just get a quick first pitch out and try and roll through the rest of this.
Third was the best pitched inning we've seen, right? You get
Yeah.
a couple strikeouts for Rose in that one. Meanwhile, Max Wilhide was just electric on the mound. A couple strikeouts. So far, 3 runs on 3 hits for Houston County. Etowah, 1 run on 1 hit. But they have committed 3 errors that have largely led to Houston County taking that 3-1 lead. But hats off to Houston County for taking advantage of the situation they have been provided by Etowah. They've now got Raymond Bird at the plate with a 2-0 count. Not sure if anybody from Stony Brook is watching our broadcast. If so, you're more than welcome to stop on by the studio if you want to come join us for an inning or so. Would love to hear from guys who had to face both these teams yesterday.
Yeah.
One put in play. Jack Turner has it, throws to first, and I believe we got ourselves another out. We indeed do. Not quite sure why sometimes our cameras just don't cut over, but they didn't. So Rose has now got 2 down. He's now going to have Noah Odom, the left fielder and last hitter in the order for Houston County. The 3 hits today for Houston County have come from Kendall Jackson, their leadoff hitter, Vic Gann, their number 2 hitter, and then Ethan Kinney, the DH.
Yeah, he sends that first pitch foul. Gonna make it 0-1. Seen the velo down tick just a little bit from Rose. We've seen him kind of tap
he's
at
at
90.
71 pitches so far for him. I mean, that's potentially what you want to get through 6 innings for him. Unfortunately, that's what he's sitting at here in the 4th.
But he's going full tilt today. He's on his normal start schedule, so not going to have any issues like Sharman had last time out with Stony Brook, where they wanted to keep him on a pitch count just because his schedule had kind of gotten thrown off.
Count now 2-1 to Odom.
Big swing and miss.
Big swing and a miss. Going to make it 2-2 with 2 down.
See if Rose got a strikeout in him.
He's got 4 Ks so far, and he is ready to roll. I'm just waiting on
He
Odom
knows
to
what he's
step in
throwing.
there. Yeah.
He's not changing.
I'm thinking changeup right here.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. Gets himself a strikeout. Jackson Rose is now pumped up. Houston County continues to lead 3-1. We'll be back. You're watching the battle for Bartow.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, come to
It'll be Colin Anderson, Caden Borcherding, and Carson Moore at the plate for Etowah. They're facing Houston County and a 3-1 deficit here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Max Wilhide and his 5 strikeouts continue on the mound for Houston County. They're in a pivotal stretch here for Etowah if they're going to try to answer this Houston County lead. Seen the pitch count climb for starter Jackson Rose, and we were talking during the break. Wonder how many pitches are going to let him throw. First pitch swinging 94.9 off the bat. Colin Anderson absolutely ropes that, but it was caught for an out. And we're having some ineffectiveness here with our cameras cutting over, but maybe the hardest hit ball that we've seen. What was Sharman's was 99. Okay. So multiple times we've seen Etowah put a charge into one against Wilhide, but it hasn't resulted in 2 outs. So now very quickly 1 down, and Keenan Borcherding at the plate. It was Anderson who had the lone hit so far for Etowah against Will Hyde in Houston County.
Oh, he puts a ride in that one, too.
Borcherding 95.8. Again, our camera did not switch over. It's going to be hauled in by Vic Gannon, center field for the out. So now 2 down, and proving to be a very quick inning for Will Hyde. See if that continues. Is now going to move to Carson Moore, the right fielder.
Yeah, Will Hyde is trying to fly through these innings right now.
Yeah, just 51 pitches so far for Will Hyde here in the 4th. Misses high, 85.2. That's in for a strike. Count now even. After Moore, it's Jack Turner if the inning goes that far. Another strike. 5 strikeouts so far for Will Hyde, 1 walk. He's allowed 1 hit. Another well-struck ball. That one right up the middle. Make it 2 hits for Etowah today as Moore comes through with a 2-out single. 98.1. 3 straight hits of 95 or more. That one results in a base runner for Etowah, and a much-needed one as Carson Moore now stands at first base with Jack Turner at the plate.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Good work by Carson Moore. 2 outs, just digging deep and putting barrel on the ball right there.
Maybe they have figured something out as this game's wearing on against Will Hyde, as we've seen a charge put into ball by 3 straight batters. We'll see if Turner can follow suit. Breaking ball in for a strike. Jack Turner, as Jackson Rose mentioned yesterday, going to Georgia as a student next year. So the 43rd ranked shortstop in Georgia putting his baseball career on the back burner and going to have himself a big-time college experience that doesn't include being a student athlete. 0-2 count here to the second baseman today for Etowah. Runner at first. Oh, just fumbles it. Moore taking second base easily. So now a runner in scoring position for Etowah. What just happened? Okay, some miscommunication there. I'm not sure if Moore thought he needed to retreat to first base, that he wasn't allowed to be at second. Maybe he thought he wasn't supposed to have advanced, but nonetheless, they got him retreating weirdly to second base, and Wilson Marler calls him out, and that's going to bring it into the inning. The oddities continue here as we've just continued to have some really strange things happening for Etowah, and they are trailing Houston County 3-1. We are watching the battle for Bartow from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
It's the top of the order. Kendall Jackson, Vic Gannon, Isaiah Gallison for Houston County, who lead 3-1 over Etowah here in the top of the 5th inning. Another inning of work for North Carolina signee Jackson Rose. Next pitch will be the 76 for the third-ranked lefty in Georgia. Jackson swings through that. Had a really great last inning pitch. He's now sitting on 5 strikeouts with 2 walks, 3 hits. Jackson sends that one foul. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk, responsible for one of the 3 hits for Houston County against Rose. Vic Gann in the on-deck circle has one of his own. Other is DH Ethan Kinney. Swing, a miss, another strikeout for Jackson Rose, make it 6 for the UNC signee.
Yeah, he's definitely hit a little bit of a turning point here.
Last 2 innings have been the best he's pitched. I mean, a little bit shaky in those first ones, but errors happen behind you. It can certainly take a pitcher out of his groove, but he's found himself, and now he's got Vic Gann at the plate. Just misses on the curveball, and I'll take credit for that. Trumping him up. Announcer's jinx there for Jackson Rose.
It happens to all of us.
Georgia Gwinnett College signee Vic Gann watches that come in for strike 1.
Georgia Gwinnett College, fun fact, their tennis team has the longest winning streak in college athletics.
Wow.
I don't know what it's at now, but it has been at unbelievable heights.
All right, Rose hits Gann. He's going to head down to first. So they 1 out, hit by pitch. See, Cherokee's team showing up. There's Reed Worley. Reed was fantastic last night. Credit and kudos to him for getting his 200th career strikeout for the Cherokee Warriors. The Prep Baseball American and Kennesaw State signee, making his way past our camera there and behind home plate.
So that winning streak ended in 2023 at 173 matches for Georgia Gwinnett College tennis.
Isaiah Gallison at the plate now. Gallison ropes that 100.8 off his bat. Unfortunately, didn't get to see where that one went as our camera did not again adjust, but Vic Gann advances to second base, so runners at first and second with 1 out here for Houston County, and it's going to bring up Logan Elbley.
Wherever it went there fast. Nobody else really moved around much.
Yeah. I apologize for those watching. Our cameras have been a little bit more effective in the AI switching than they have been in this matchup. Not quite sure what the dilemma is, but we've at least have 5 or 6 times where it's not made the adjustment for us. But Logan Elbley with 1 out and 2 on, a chance to build on this Houston County lead. Borcherding stops that from going any further.
Going to have to see Rose just settle things down here a little bit if he wants to continue in this game.
Yeah, he's thrown 84 pitches as we sit here in the 5th inning. Miss low. Borcherding really trying to hold that.
Should have tried to frame it.
Yep. All right, here comes Rose with the 2-0. Throw back over, and that's going into center field, and another miscue for Etowah. Runner's going to take off for third and second, so Vic Gann now standing at third base, and Gallison at second, and just like that, Houston County takes advantage of another mistake by Etowah defensively. And
so many inexcusable errors.
It's just been out of character.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing on this. I mean, this was a massive game for a team that's defending state champions. It's not as though they've not shown up in big time situations before. Just a lot of uncharacteristic changes for them, and that's going to be the end of the day for Jackson Rose. So Houston County has a 3-1 lead. Etowah makes a pitching change here in the 5th with 1 out. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you about the new pitcher for the Eagles.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Back here for Battle for Bartow, where Houston County has a 3-1 lead over Etowah in this highly anticipated matchup of two nationally ranked teams. Jackson Rose out of the game for Etowah as we now move to Nate Curcio. Rose went 4 1/3 inning, allowed 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But I think the big number that we keep looking at on this box score is a 5 in the error line for Etowah. And those 5 errors have largely been the reason why Houston County has a 3-1 lead here in the 5th. But number one, hats off to them for taking advantage of situations and playing heads-up baseball and allowing themselves to have a 3-1 lead. And they'll now have to face Nate Curcio, who's the new pitcher on the mound for Etowah. The 6-foot, 160-pound, 2027, plays for TGD-backs. He's the 19th ranked shortstop in Georgia, has a fastball that we had around 83, and his last pitch was 88.7, so ratchet up the profile there, Nate Curcio.
He's taken some big strides since the last time we saw him here on the mound, but all season he's been one of the guys that's come in relief quite a few times for Etowah.
Misses on the 2-1. You can typically find Nate's mom taking photos. I'm sure she's somewhere back there getting shots of her son now on the mound as this is in the 5th inning. Logan Elbley still at the plate, 3-1 count. Elbley puts a charge into that one, 93.4 off his bat. Here comes 1 run for Houston County. Runner's going to hold at third, and Logan Elbley's got himself an RBI single, and Houston County has a 4-1 lead as they again take advantage of the opportunities provided off these Etowah errors.
Yeah, Etowah, honestly lucky that 5th run didn't come around, bobbled it out there in the outfield, but luckily the runner held at third for them. Houston County just continues to roll. They don't care who's throwing the pitches or how they have to get on base. They're making it happen.
Elbley, by the way, has 2 RBI today. He and Isaiah Gallison, who hits ahead of him in the order, responsible for all 4 of these RBI for Houston County. And now we're going to move on to shortstop Ethan Buffon, the Mercer signee. Buffon shows bunt, gets that one down, but it goes foul. We're cut out for this Etowah lineup. We, again, know what they are capable of, and they are absolutely going to have to show that later on. They've been able to have some well-struck balls against Max Wilhide, the pitcher for Houston County, but he's allowed just 2 hits to go with 5 strikeouts and a walk, and the pitch count's not high at all for him.
Not at all.
I mean, I think the best thing Etowah can do right now is try to drive that up and try to eat into that bullpen. But so far, so good for Houston County's Wilhide has been fantastic. Curcio misses, count now even at 1-1.
Yeah, Etowah's just kind of find their breaks where they can get them. Is kind of the biggest thing that they're missing right now. They don't have they're not giving themselves the opportunities to do it.
Curcio misses on that, makes it 2-1.
Good fake throwdown right there by Caden Borsheding, really convincing.
It's the 2-1 to Buffon. Skies that one back foul. Crowd getting a little bit bigger as we've got both Cherokee and Stony Brook's teams in the background. Yeah, the remaining games on the schedule today at 4 o'clock. We've got East Coweta versus Houston County at 6:30. East Coweta against Stony Brook. Actually don't have Cherokee with a game on this. The last schedule I was given by Etowah coach Greg Robinson. That one by Buffon goes back foul.
The game we've got on the schedule for them, I believe, is with Johns Creek.
Okay, all right, so Cherokee, Johns Creek. So while we have this featured game today, still plenty more Battle for Bartow action. So if you want to get out here, LakePoint Sports, there'll be plenty to see. And we move on to Georgia Major Elite as this day wears on. To see Ian Smith from Prep Baseball Georgia now chatting up Reed Worley in the background. 2-2 count here to Buffon, and that's going to run it even. Now, we mentioned one of the things that's been a crux for Etowah has been what happens in these games after their starters are out. And Nate Curcio has been running up the radar gun here and showing a new high for him off of what we had on his Prep Baseball profile. But base runners allowed by the bullpen has been a sticking point for Etowah. So let's see if they can fix that here. 3-2 count from Curcio. Just misses outside 89, so a new high for him, but he allows a base runner off the walk, and the bases will now be loaded for Ethan Kinney. Kinney 1 for 2 today.
This is a huge opportunity for Houston.
Yeah, I mean, they can literally blow this game open right here. And again, I mean, if you're Etowah, you got to feel you have a lineup and an offense that has you an opportunity to get back into every game. But already down 4-1, the last thing you want to do is see that number grow any larger for Houston County, put more pressure on your lineup as we sit here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and you're running out of chances. I mean, we're in the top of the 5th right now. This Etowah lineup's only going to come up 3 more times.
Miss from Curcio to start things off against Kinney. Ethan Kinney, game on, 26th ranked third baseman in Georgia. We got him with exit velo around 92.7. He's got an opportunity to blow this game open. Curcio spikes that one, but Worthing stops it from going any further. Jack Turner with some words of encouragement for Curcio. All right, 2-0 here to Kinney. Gets that in for a strike. 88.3 out of the hands of the 2027 righty.
See how Houston approaches this. I mean, Curcio hasn't necessarily been hitting the zone too much here in the early goings of his appearance, so going to have to see how patient they really are.
Another strike, change up at 81.3. Curcio, a 2023 junior future gamer, thrust into action after Jackson Rose exited. He's got a 2-2 count here to Kinney. Kinney steps out. Wilson Marlar with the adjustment of the pants as he assumes his position there. Wow, man. Get him in the outside corner. Nate Curcio found his groove as he gets a strikeout of Kinney and a key out. Out number 2 here as Will Allen, the South Florida signee, steps in.
See what Allen's got here now. 2 outs, bases loaded. This is an opportunity that if you're Houston County, you really can't pass up on. But going to see what Nate Curcio's got for Etowah, see if he can get him out of this jam. Looks like time was called.
They called a balk on Curcio, so another run crosses for Houston County, make it 5-1, and the frustrations continue for Etowah, a team that's just largely played out of character in this game as they trail 5-1 here in the 5th. And I think, look, regardless of how this game winds up, if Etowah was able to come back and get the win, or if Houston County continues to hold serve and get the W themselves, I think the message in that Etowah dugout is going to be like, you guys didn't play like yourselves today.
Yeah,
and I think that they're going to be able to flush this one away because it's not as though they've done everything correctly and Houston County has taken a 5-1 lead. They've made 5 errors, and now we just saw a run scored off of a balk. They've just not played like themselves. But on the other side of it, if you're Houston County and you get out of here with a win, you're going to feel like you just got the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Houston County's totally blown us away offensively or
Did you just say us?
What?
You just said us.
I mean, us as in us watching the game.
Oh, I thought you meant Etowah like you.
No.
I was like, wow.
No, I'm not that invested.
Okay, all right.
I'm not that invested. I'm saying us like the people watching the game, calling the game.
Okay, I'm on board.
They haven't blown us away offensively, but neither has Etowah hasn't showed up really at all offensively, and it's like I think the thing they've blown us away with the most is the errors, and we keep going back to that because it's a very obvious problem in this game.
Allen is going to be out, and that's going to bring it into the inning. But Houston County, man, they now lead 5-1 over Etowah as we move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see if Etowah can get something going offensively. You're watching the battle for Bartow from LakePoint Sports.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Just took you inside Curve Test Center. They're redefining player and performance data when it comes to evaluation and recruiting. So you can visit at the bubble or sign up at curvetestcenter.com for your chance to level up your game. Max Wilhide is on the mound once again for Houston County. He's just 60 pitches in, has allowed 2 hits, 1 run. He's got 5 strikeouts with a walk.
Yeah, Wilhide has looked exceptional to this point. He gave up the 1 run, but can't even really be mad about it.
Pops Jack Turner up. Second baseman camps underneath it and has the first out. So Turner pops out. Now Townsend Downing and Keller Foster as Etowah tries to get something rolling with the bottom of their order here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Wilhide's got to be happy with how these last couple of innings have gone for him. Not only running the strikeout numbers up, but moving through things quickly.
Yeah, 61 pitches for the Chattahoochee Valley Community College signee. First pitch swinging by Turner for strike 1. Or excuse me, Townsend Downing. That was Jack Turner that popped out. Downing the DH today. That's in for a strike. Now 0-2. This is where we've seen Max Wilhide look really, really good in these pitcher's counts. See what he does here in the 0-2. He's already got 5 strikeouts today. Make it 6 strikeouts for Max Wilhide. I love the emotion from him, man. He has been absolutely amped from the get-go. So much so that when Matthew Sharman had that really hard-hit ball to center field, we saw Coach Matt Hopkins go out and have a conversation with him. I think he is just such an emotional pitcher.
Yeah.
Had to go out and almost calm him down a little bit, and he has been electric, to say the least.
Yeah, and I think he's just totally feeding off of it. And I think feeding off what his team's doing right now. I mean, there's a lot of excitement to be had when you're up 5-1 over the number 3 team in the nation.
Keller Foster now at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count here against Wilhide. Make that 2-0. He has allowed 3 base runners so far, 2 via hits, 1 off a walk.
The interesting thing for both these teams about this matchup is that it is just a one-off game, and it's obviously not a region game.
Second baseman has it on the run,
play.
throws. Fantastic defensive work at second base, and Isaiah Gallison coming up big time to back up Max Wilhide. We are through another half an inning. Houston County continues to be magic out there. They lead 5-1. You're watching the battle for Bartow.
Next. Next. Stop.
We got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again? Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
We are coming back to you for the battle for Bartow, Etowah against Houston County, a matchup we expected to be absolutely electric. And most electric thing so far in this one has been Max Wilhide on the mound. He has just been fantastic in keeping this Etowah lineup bottled up, and we'll see if his lineup can continue to provide him with a boost. They have a 5-1 lead as we sit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Raymond Bird leading things off for Houston County will be followed by Noah Odom, and then we're back to the top of the order, and Kendall Jackson. It feels like every time we turn around, Kendall Jackson on the plate. But Nate Curcio is on the mound again for Etowah. I'm Cory McCartney. That's Grayson Rosen. Curcio misses high to ball 1 here to Bird. Bird 0 for 2 today. He's got... Did not strike out, did not walk. We've seen 7 strikeouts from Etowah pitching so far. That's how Curcio ended the last inning.
We've seen some flashes, some good stuff here from Curcio. It's just been the small little things outside of it that's happened. I mean, the balk bringing in that 5th run was certainly a low light of his, but going to look to bounce back here.
That's in for a strike. We had mentioned this during yesterday's Battle for Bartow watch party, that Etowah last year able to win a state championship, some sweeps in which they didn't even go to their bullpen. I've said it a couple times already that to me the biggest thing for them is how deep can they go with their arms. But I think that's what makes guys like Jack Turner yesterday, who goes complete game shutout, and another arm like Nate Curcio so crucial is how they're able to develop things past Matthew Sharman and Jackson Rose.
Definitely, I think. Obviously, your pitching is going to kind of propel you forward. They have the offense. We know that. They're not maybe showing it today, but they show it off plenty. And then it comes down to, all right, we can score runs, but can we stop the other team from scoring more?
Curcio has a 3-2 count here to Bird, and he fouls that one off. Count remains full against Bird. Houston County up 5-1. Bird skies that one on the run. Sharman has it for the first out.
That was a very nonchalant flip all the way over to
Yeah,
Dion
he made that look
Short.
really easy, right? Like when he did it, I didn't think it was going to go quite that far, but yeah, we've got to add that metric to the Prep Baseball All-American profile there from Matthew Sharman. Underhand toss. Be a heck of a cornhole player.
Yeah. That was
actually,
impressive.
by the way, at the Prep Baseball American game, we did play cornhole.
Oh.
We had Matt Guy, arguably the greatest cornhole player of all time, and his son were there to play cornhole with all the guys. So Sharman did get to play a little bit there. The winners of a cornhole tournament got boards. Ty Peoples was among one of the winners. Georgia Sinee, who was here for Franklin County. We had him go yard on one of our broadcasts. Had his first bomb of the season, by the way.
That was
we got
fun.
to make a call on. So Sharman has played cornhole at an elite level is basically what I'm saying. All right, Noah Odom at the plate. Ooh, sends that one foul.
Real hard hit.
Yeah, hard hit ball into the ground, 92-2 off his bat. Stalking around the circle back there as he's going to regroup and dig back into the box. 1-2 count here against Curcio.
Yeah, we'll see what Curcio's got to offer here. See if he's got more strikeout stuff in him.
It's the leadoff hitter Kendall Jackson in the on-deck circle. Misses outside count now even at 2-2.
Curcio takes that glove off a lot.
Yeah.
It is a little hot outside. There it is.
Gets the punch out of Odom. Nice job by Curcio, his second strikeout. By the way, his mom's not taking pictures, but she is standing directly behind him there by the steps, which I always think, like, when you're watching a Major League game and they've got, like, the mascot back there and he's moving around, that has to be distracting for the pitcher. Having your mom back there, like, directly in line of sight has to be really, really...
she looks mad.
Yeah, it has to be, take your focus away. Miss high here to start things off against Jackson, the leadoff hitter. He is 1 for 2 today, got himself a walk and a strikeout. 1-0 from Curcio. Jackson skies that one, 91.7. That one is into foul territory, and Colin Anderson unable to glove that as he goes on the run from third. AB will continue here for Jackson. Chattahoochee Valley Community College signee. Now a 1-1 count. Should he get on, Vic Gann will be at the plate. Just misses outside, and a little pixelation there on that shot. Being overtaken by the pixels. Count now 2-1.
Awful movie, by the way. Pixels?
Yeah. Sends that one back foul. Not a bad premise, it's just the execution.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying you would not vote Kevin James for president?
No.
Okay.
That's as political as we'll get here.
All right. He can't go from king of queens to
No.
How many people have been both a king and a president, though?
Probably very few.
Kendall Jackson, 97.4 off his bat, and Nick Curcio, frustration. That was off the wall, man. Jackson going to weigh his all the way into third. Is he going to be in for a triple? He is indeed going to hold there. Man, Kendall Jackson is fired up. Looked at that one, nearly got caught at the wall. Condon and the left fielder converge on that one. Neither able to make a play, and Kendall Jackson's got himself a 2-out triple, and Houston County threatening yet again here in the sixth.
I mean, I think Curcio maybe got lucky that didn't leave the yard right then. That was real close to getting out of here, but lucky it hits off the wall, but now he's got a runner on third. He's got the 2 outs, so still got the chance to get out of here unscathed.
Yeah, but you don't want to see Vic Gann at the plate with a runner in scoring position, and that's unfortunately what Nate Curcio is going to have to deal with 2 out here in the sixth.
Yeah, we saw this guy leave the yard yesterday, so.
A nonchalant homer, too. I mean, a lot of power that he generates out of a 5'9", 183-pound frame. I mean, I think you look at the metrics on Vic Gann, and they're eye-opening considering the size. I mean, exit velos of nearly 102 mile an hour, bat speed of 83.5, runs a 6.5 60, and 89 outfield velo.
This can be the end of the day for Curcio.
All right, Nate Curcio is going to exit. We will be taking a break here in studio. Another pitching change for Etowah. They trail 5-1. Runner at third for Houston County. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, come to
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports, where Zane Ledford is the new pitcher for Etowah, who trails Houston County 5-1 here in this highly anticipated matchup in the battle for Bartow, in a game that has been really defined by odd moments and oddities. We've seen, now 5 errors by Etowah. We saw the miscue at second base there, where they had Carson Moore at second. He thought he had stolen the bag. I don't know if he thought time was called, but he needed to retreat to first, and Houston County paying close attention, we're able to get him as he started to make his way back to first. And then we just saw the moment there, a well-struck ball by Kendall Jackson that hits off the wall as Keller Foster, the left fielder, and Trevor Condon are able to make a play off that one. It glanced off the facade of our wall in left field. He's now standing at third base, and have another pitching change for Etowah.
Yeah, it's just, like you said, it's been odd. It's just these weird moments that keep piling up for Etowah, and then you tack on the errors that they've made in this game, and just seems like it won't go their way. And offensively, they haven't really done much to counteract that.
Yeah, they've had just 2 hits so far. Max Wilhide for Houston County has been electric on the mound. We'll see how much more we see out of him. He's gone 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. I feel like the movie Angels in the Outfield is like playing itself out here. You know, like maybe there's like ghosts out there that are kind of running interference here against Etowah, but a team that has been playing out of character to say the least. But again, they have an offense that we could flip around and watch the bottom of the 6th and potentially the bottom of the 7th be an opportunity for them to just put up a massive number offensively. So we'll see how that plays out. But meanwhile, Vic Gann is at the plate. Zach Ledford, the new pitcher for Etowah. Gann, a guy that can do all kinds of damage.
See what Ledford's got for him. Oh,
first pitch swinging 86.2 off the bat of Vic Gann, and once again our cameras did not cooperate, but he is out as you see Kendall Jackson gingerly making his way back. First he'll retrieve the bat of Gans, and we are through another half an inning. Houston County up 5-1 over Etowah. This is the battle for Bartow. Max Wilhide returning for another inning as he has been just lights out so far through 5 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts to keep this Etowah lineup in check. But he's now got to deal with the top of the order. He's got Trevor Condon, Deion Cole, and Matthew Sharman. And this is the last chance for these big bats to make potentially an impact here as time is running out for Etowah in the 6th inning.
Yeah, you've really got to take your opportunities here. You kind of can't afford to have a lack of an offensive showing in this bottom of the 6th, because kind of negates these big bats at the top of the lineup coming up again in the bottom of the 7th.
First pitch is a strike out of the hands of Wilhide as Condon, the Tennessee commit, watches it for strike 1. Watches strike 2. Condon was here this past summer for the feature games, was initially a Miami commit as a middle schooler, and he ends up decommitting and entering the recruitment process again. Was happy to have him here for the future games, and then he winds up being a Tennessee committee. Puts a charge at that one. 92 off his bat directly into the glove of Vic Gann in center field. Just misses that one. Well-struck ball, but it results in out 1 here for Etowah in the 6th.
Kind of been the story of these last couple of offensive showings from Etowah, is getting a good piece of it, just not getting anything out of it.
They've had probably 5-6 balls hit 90-mile-an-hour plus off of Wilhide, and they have just, each and every one of them, been in out. We'll see if Deion Cole can change those fortunes with 1 out here, and he is first pitch swinging. That one, 84.6.
Wilhide's still rolling.
I have been so impressed with him, man. He has just absolutely been up to the task today. Just been an electric arm, and certainly he's pitching with a lot of emotion. He has absolutely been showing it. He's only at 72 pitches here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Every indication, unless Etowah can eat into that they're going to have to see him again in the 7th. Make that 2-1 here to Cole.
It's definitely an interesting day for the Etowah lineup to see these guys just seemingly just cold.
Swings through that. Well, look, 0 hits for Condon, Cole, and Sharman right now, and they've resulted in 2 strikeouts combined. Yeah. I mean, that's the potential of those guys all having this kind of a day on the same day just does not happen for this Etowah lineup. But it has, and a large part of that is that Max Wilhide has just been awesome.
Yeah, he's absolutely killing it, and I think he knows, and he's risen up to this occasion.
Full count. 90.8. Yeah, Cole slams his bat. That one sent somewhere, and we'll see if that is caught for an out. And it, in fact, is not Matthew Sharman will do the diligent thing and stand up Cole's bat. A tricky proposition. We've seen some catchers not be able to pull that move off.
Yeah.
Oh, nice flip, though, behind the plate. That's an even bolder move that we see behind the plate from Raymond Bird as he flips the bat back around and gives it to Cole, who's now got a full count. That 90.8-mile-an-hour foul ball. Pops him up again, and man, Will Hyde, he has guided himself. Wow, that one's a little bit dicey. I think the Buffon cutting over was like, what? That's my ball.
Yeah, it's tough, especially standing on the mound to try and make that play.
Yeah, these mounds are a hill, people, and it's sometimes hard to go backtrack on those. But Will Hyde catches Cole's pop out. Now 2 down as Sharman steps in. Sharman's is 0 for 2 today. He has the lone RBI, though, for Etowah off a ball that he hit 99.5 off the bat that was caught by Gann in deep center near the batter's eye. Will Hyde misses, make that 1-0. I'm sure Buffon's going to go over to him between innings and be like, that's an easier play for me. Sharman fouls that off, count now 1-1. That's what they always tell you, right? Like that's the
pitcher can just get out of the way.
Yeah, that's by and large. But Will Hyde's thinking this is my game.
Yeah, I mean
like he's feeling it on every level right now.
Certainly taking it over.
Next pitch will be his 80th. He has 6 strikeouts today. Has allowed 3 base runners, 2 via hit, 1 off the walk. One of the best pitching performances I can remember in some time, and doing it against one of the best lineups in the country. Holds to around the count of 3-1. If somehow Sharman can get on, it's Colin Anderson, who's 1 for 2, has that only hit for Etowah so far today. I take that back. Moore also has 1 as well. I'm shortchanging this Etowah lineup, but the top half of the order that's been so productive has resulted in just 1 hit thus far. Striking the outside, and that's only strike 2, Raymond Bird.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down back there.
He was pumped. Maybe he's seeing the future. We'll see if that's the case. Count now full here to Sharman.
Maybe he thought it was a ball, and he was just kind of upset.
Tried to go around the horn there to finish things off a little prematurely. Here comes the 3-2 from Will Hyde. Now he's got it. He can, in fact, forecast the future. And Matthew Sharman left frozen like Anna and Elsa, and we are throwing another inning. And Max Will Hyde has been Mr. Electric. Houston County leads 5-1 over Etowah. You were watching the battle for Bartow.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
You were watching the battle for Bartow, where the electricness has been seen on both sides. See Jackson Rose fired up there, but Houston County behind that guy, Max Will Hyde, has been sensational, leading 5-1 over Etowah. They have taken advantage of 5 errors committed by Etowah's defense, but they have taken advantage, the key opportune word there, and they are rolling, as we'll see Isaiah Gallison, Logan Elbley, and Ethan Buffon at the plate as we move along in the top of the 7th inning. Zane Ledford out for another inning. Got to love those reaction shots that we got from Matty Bullock over there, working the camera, getting us some great in-game footage to add to this broadcast. And Zane Ledford, as I mentioned, back on the mound for Etowah, and he has number 3 hitter Isaiah Gallison, then Logan Elbley and Ethan Buffon. 5 hits so far for Houston County, 2 hits for Etowah.
Yeah, Ledford ended up not having too much to deal with there when he came in the sixth, but certainly going to look to shut things down and try and give Etowah another chance.
That one right through the picket there. Haven't seen that happen yet for Borcherding today. That one just went right through his legs. The oddities continue for this Etowah team. We've seen these guys play before. We watched them yesterday during the battle for Bartow, and we've seen so many of these guys during the summer months as well. It's just been out of character, and that's the only real way I can equate what we have seen today. It's just this is not the performances I've expected out of these guys. And we'll see what happens here. Ledford with the 1-0. Gallison 102.3 off his bat, and Dion Cole unable to glove that hard hit ball, and Gallison's going to hold at first, and he's now got 2 hits on the day, 2 RBI as well on the ledger for him.
Yeah, that one was just smoked.
So a 6th hit for Houston County, and that's now going to bring up Logan Elbley. Elbley 1 for 3 today. It's also driven in 2 runs. He and Gallison have resulted in 4 of the 5 RBI for Houston County. Another run coming off of a balk. Yeah, that was another oddity. I didn't even think about a run scored off of a balk when Nate Curcio was on the mound.
There's a missed throw on the pickoff, and the runner advances. There's another error to throw on the list.
This is not the kind of day that Etowah wanted to have. And again, I think you have the opportunity, if you're them, to say, if you're taking a loss today, we just did not play like ourselves.
Yeah.
The other side of it is, when you're a team who is the number 3 team in the nation, number 1 in your classification in Prep Baseball Georgia's rankings, and you've got what they have sitting ahead of them, which is big matchups against Cherokee with Reed Worley on the mound on Tuesday. You've got a matchup with Blessed Trinity looming, and the state championships. Let's have a moment to get out there and reset. And that's exactly, I'm sure, how Coach Greg Robinson's going to approach this one. It's like, this is your wake-up call. This is what will happen when you don't play like yourselves.
This is a one-off game. You don't get to play Houston again, and this is just kind of a way to not get cold over spring break. And at least they're out here playing the game. They learned some things about this team I'd had to assume out of this game. And then they'll go into that Cherokee series next week, and then with Blessed Trinity and Hillgrove to finish the season and have this experience, but not dwell on it too much.
Well, they are the hunted, and that is the unfortunate nature of one being the defending state champion, but 2 being the number 3 team in the nation. As Jackson Rose told me yesterday during our broadcast, they know the expectations of the other team each and every time they take the field. They want to beat them. They want to say, yes, we took down Etowah. And they're shouldering a lot of responsibility and expectation, as that one is ripped down the left side foul, 87.3 off the bat of Elbley. And I think this kind of game presents a wake-up call for a team to be able to look back and be like, that was the time where we kind of let things maybe get above water for us, and now we've got to get back on track and play like ourselves again.
And on the flip side, Houston County, assuming they hold on to this victory, they get to take this victory into the end of the season and into the state playoffs and be like, oh yeah, like we're that team. We can go out and do this against anybody because we just went out and did it against one of the top teams in the nation.
1-2 count here to Elbley, swing and a miss. Curcio gets himself a strikeout off the elevated fastball as Elbley swings through that for the first out. And now we'll get Ethan Buffone back at the plate, the Mercer signee. Go back and watch that Ethan Buffone mic'd up that we had if you get a chance here and you're watching this broadcast. It's available on the LakePoint Sports YouTube channel. He was just a lot of fun playing for the Texas Ranger scout team this past summer.
Going 3.
Runner taking off for third. The throw is there in plenty of time, but they got him in a rundown. Colin Anderson going to run him down, throws the Borcherding. Did they get him at the plate? They, in fact, did. Out number 2.
Very interesting approach to that. I mean, he was in there safely and got up and jumped up out of the slide and left the base.
Yeah, not quite sure how Anderson didn't apply that tag. It looked like the ball got there in plenty of time, but they'll now be 2 down as Buffone steps in a 1-0 count.
I think we could, instead of posting a highlight from this game, just post a blooper reel.
It almost feels like, I know the Benny Hill shows a little bit before your time, but
definitely.
There's music you've probably heard before that was set to.
I know exactly what it is.
It feels like we could definitely reel that in here for the performance we've seen from Etowah in this game as they trail 5-1. Hats off again to Houston County, though, man. They have you take advantage of the situations you're provided, and they have absolutely done so today. That one, 72-8 off the bat by Buffon. That one drops in front of the left fielder for a base hit, so make it 6 hits now today for Houston County. 7 errors committed by Etowah in this game.
A new Wasp has entered potentially for vengeance.
Yeah, typically you let one survive to send word out to the others, and we unfortunately didn't do that. I thought maybe if they were watching the stream, they would have seen the carcass that we had provided by their friend, but they did not do that. So we now have somebody in here looking for retaliation. So if you see us flailing around in here, you'll know that the cousin of the Wasp, whose carcass we showed earlier, has come back for more.
His name is Inigo Montoya.
That's right. Yeah,
you killed his father. Prepare to die.
We don't need that here as we sit here in the 7th inning. Try to get us through this last stretch here and finish this game off without a Wasp causing any further frustrations. 0-1 count here to Kinney. He skies that one, 65-5 off his bat. Anderson backtracks near the line, and he will catch that to bring an end to the inning. Houston County strands 1, but they lead 5-1. It all comes down to this for Etowah. They will send Colin Anderson, Caden Borcherding, and Carson Moore to the plate as we move to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching the battle for Bartow.
So yeah, outrage is trending. Our feed's stirring us up, splitting us up. What if we came out from behind our walls and keyboards just for a sec and just go yard, front yard? Come out bagging, jumping, check on that Johnsonville feed. Let our individual flavors blend together. Yes, block nobody, block party. Keep it juicy.
Boogie woogie jam slam, bust the dialect, come to
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to the battle for Bartow, where Houston County has a commanding 5-1 lead over Etowah, the 3rd-ranked team in prep baseball's national rankings. It has been a game marred by some inconsistent plays by Etowah, but Houston County has been up to the task, and so has Max Wilhide, who has been electric as he comes out for his 7th inning of work. He has allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. He again has Colin Anderson, Caden Borcherding, and Carson Moore. Etowah down to their last hopes here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oof. Yeah, man, nasty breaking ball by Anderson. Anderson and Moore, 2 of the hitters due up for Etowah in this lineup, in this order. In this inning, resulted in both of their hits. So see if those guys can get something rolling. Etowah, again, has just not gotten that offensive performance we've been used to, and that one is sent back foul. Count remains 0-2.
Will Hyde's just got to keep things rolling.
He's 86 pitches right now. If he gets out of this under 100 pitches, a complete game, man, this he's had a day without question. Anderson on the ground. That one hauled in by 3rd baseman, throws across the diamond in time. Logan Elbley makes the play at 3rd, and the defense behind Wilhide has been up to the task and backing him up tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, on this side of the ball, Houston has done every single thing they can right.
Caden Borcherding steps in now, 1 down for the sophomore catcher. Top-ranked catcher again in Georgia. Exit velos around 96 mile an hour. They truly need that here as they try to get something going with 1 down in the 7th. Start them off 1-0.
See if Will Hyde can keep up the energy here and finish things off. Gets Borcherding off the hands, popped up high. It's going to get caught. Now 2 outs. Etowah down 4. Will Hyde looking to slam the door on a huge, complete game and what would be a massive win over the number 3 team in the nation.
Yeah, last hopes for Etowah come down to Carson Moore. Again, he's resulted in 1 of their 2 hits, and they really need one here Max Wilhide has been fantastic. First pitch swinging 92.5 off his bat. Vic Gann backtracks, and he will haul that in. And Houston County, a commanding victory. Once again, there is that raw emotion from Max Wilhide. And, man, what an absolute gem of a performance for him. Man, he was unreal. Houston County gets the victory. They had 5 runs on 6 hits. Etowah 1 run on 2 hits. They committed 7 errors in this game. We're going to be back to wrap things up. We'll talk player of the game and more. You're watching the battle for Bartow from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory, McCartney, and Grayson Rosen with you, where we just wrapped up it was a highly anticipated matchup in the battle for Bartow between Houston County and Etowah. Etowah entered this one as the 3rd-ranked team in Prep Baseball's national rankings. Houston County was 44th. They were the number 1 teams in their respective classification rankings by Prep Baseball Georgia. We expected this one to be a really tight battle. Houston County gets a 5-1 win. And 2 big things that stand out for this one. One, the performance of Max Wilhide, who was electric, allowing 2 hits. It gets himself 7 strikeouts over a complete game. The other factor in this one was the big 7 errors committed by Etowah defensively.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you throw the just kind of absence of the top of the lineup there for Etowah that has just been such a mainstay in such a fantastic season they've had is those 3. No hits across the 3 of them today, and that was a huge miss for them. But, yeah, I think those errors were maybe the most costly thing because the first 3 runs don't come across for Houston in that first inning, and that's where they got everything that they had and rode through with the rest of this game.
Trevor Condon, Deion Cole, Matthew Sharman. There may not be one team may not have a better collective of 26s in the nation than those guys. They went to the plate 9 times. They resulted in 1 base runner, which was a walk by Matthew Sharman. No hits from this crew. I mean, that has to be the most surprising aspect of this. And again, I go back to Max Wilhide. Apologies, sir. I did not know your game coming into this one. And, man, he was just everything. Again, allows just 2 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Cannot remember the time when I saw a pitcher show so much raw emotion across the start than he did, to one point where Coach Matt Hopkins had to go out after we saw Matthew Sharman 99.5 off the bat, a ball that was caught on the wall by Vic Gann. We saw Deion Cole score from second off that one. They had to go out and have a conversation with Wilhide off of this one, and he just found himself and was just sensational throughout the game.
Yeah, and he really turned it up. Those middle innings were so valuable in this performance where he had kind of short innings. He got the strikeout numbers up as well. Those middle couple of innings, I think, is what propelled him through all 7.
Yeah, he is obviously player of the game in this one. I mean, I don't know that there was a more just no-brainer performance that we have seen at any point this year when you consider the magnitude of this game, the lineup that he was facing. Max Wilhide was up to the task. No doubt who gets player of the game in this one as he and Houston County emerged with a 5-1 win over Etowah in what was a highly anticipated matchup here for the Battle for Georgia. Now, we will be back Saturday with coverage of the Georgia Major Elite as we return to the youth side of our schedule, a matchup of Kane Southeast and Kangaroo Court Roos from the 14U division. You will not want to miss that one. Coverage begins at 9:45 a.m. Saturday morning, a 10 a.m. game. You'll, of course, be able to find that for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube, as you are all of our broadcasts. So until next time, for Grayson Rosen, producer Mason Monroe, and again, rest in peace, the Wasp that made his way through our studio. I'm Cory McCartney, and for now, we are signing off from LakePoint Sports.